because Floyd Mayweather is arrested.
This is not going to end well. This will
And it
not
didn't.
end well.
With Floyd, Canelo, Instagram, what's up with all that stuff?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, you know, he tried to steal somewhat of Canelo's thunder. He couldn't help himself.
Floyd Mayweather. Arrested. Yes, you heard that right. The man who turned undefeated into a brand just got booked. But that's not even the wild part. The real shock. It's what other boxers are saying about him now that he's behind bars. You'd expect sympathy, maybe silence, but no. Some are mad, some are laughing, some are staying suspiciously quiet. And a few, they're straight up terrified. Not of Floyd, but of what might come out next. And once you hear their words, you'll understand why. This isn't just about one arrest. It's about a possible house of cards crumbling. Stay with this video, because what you're about to hear hasn't hit ESPN yet. It started with a headline, Mayweather arrested in Miami. The internet crashed into itself. No details at first, just sirens and handcuffs outside his $25 million home. By midday, the charges leaked: tax evasion, conspiracy, wire fraud. Multiple agencies involved.
With Floyd, Canelo, Instagram, what's up with all that stuff?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, you know, he tried to steal somewhat of Canelo's thunder. He couldn't help himself. He had to crawl under his rock, out of his rock, and make some noise. But look, he's retired. I mean, either he's hurting for attention or he's hurting for money. You know, we strongly feel that, look, Canelo's the man right now. He's the highest paid athlete in the world, and then we move on and we go forward and we continue with our business.
Multiple years investigated. But the louder noise, it wasn't from news anchors. It came from the boxing world. Everyone started talking. Some used their real names. Others whispered to reporters. And what came out was a mix of revenge, regret, and real fear. Mike Tyson didn't waste words. His comment came through a podcast drop. He flew too close to the sun. We all do it. But he thought he was fireproof. Tyson's been through it. Fame, prison, bankruptcy. So his tone wasn't gloating. It was heavy. The system loves to lift you. Then it loves to snap you in half. But Mike didn't stop there. He hinted that Floyd's inner circle might flip. The people who clap for you? They clap louder when you fall. Now let's talk about the response that made headlines. Canelo Alvarez didn't hold back. He went live on Instagram within hours of the news. He robbed fighters, robbed fans, walked around like a god. Now he's got to answer to someone bigger. You could feel the heat. Remember, Canelo lost to Floyd in 2013. It was a schooling.
Absolutely. But it's so crazy. When we talk about loyalty in the sport of boxing, when we talk about loyalty, when you look at Canelo, there's Steven Espinoza and the Showtime team let this, and myself, we helped build this guy up. He was fighting on my undercard. He was the co-main. We helped build this guy up. And you know what Oscar De La Hoya do? You know what Mr. Loyal Oscar De La Hoya do? I'm sorry, Miss Disloyal Oscar De La Hoya do? He take him right over to HBO and cut a deal with HBO. And when he cut the deal, he got money, but I bet Canelo didn't see none. But these are the things that people don't know about in the sport of boxing. Because Al Heyman was a smart, shrewd businessman. They want to sue him because he was smart. You know, all we believe in, we work smarter, not harder. And I'm gonna make sure he's just became world champion. I'm gonna protect my champion.
But the bitterness never left. He even called out Mayweather's money tactics. You flash cash but owe millions? Now you pay for real. Brutal. But just the start. Deontay Wilder's tone was more serious. I saw it coming. We all did. You can't keep living like that forever. He said Floyd stopped being a boxer and started being a walking brand. When you care more about watches than your own people, karma takes notes. Wilder wasn't laughing. He was warning. And he talked about people being nervous now that Floyd's being investigated. If they pull the thread, the whole sweater unravels. Heavy words. Tank Davis, Mayweather's own protege.
So have you heard about the $4 million RICO lawsuit that Floyd Mayweather and Tiger is being hit with?
Wow.
So apparently it's over some stolen jewelry and, or at least allegedly. And the entire story is pretty crazy. And the fact that they're calling it a RICO was pretty wild as well. Because apparently there was some type of, at least what is being alleged, some type of scheme set up and ran by these celebrities in order to get away with taking free jewelry off of jewelers. So yeah, seems like
was clearly shaken. He didn't post anything flashy, just a short video on his story. Hard to say anything, I owe him. But I also feel fooled. He didn't name names, but fans knew what he meant. The man who built him up might have been building an illusion. He said we were family. Now I don't know what that meant. That right there, that hit fans hardest. Because if your own fighter starts questioning the past, what else is fake? The old school champs are divided. Lennox Lewis said, Mayweather let the sport down. Boxing gave him everything, and he gave back scandals. Oscar de la Hoya couldn't stop smiling. He went on a rant about karma and how the belt doesn't protect you from the law. Meanwhile, Roy Jones Jr. took a balanced view. If he
Before Mayweather fought me, he was making $2-3 million on my undercards. Before Pacquiao fought me, nobody knew who he was. And so after beating me, Mayweather becomes Money Mayweather, right? And he becomes this global superstar because he has the platform on pay-per-view. I think we sold 2-point-something million homes. And with Pacquiao as well, a star was born after fighting me. So they got a little taste of how to negotiate better terms for yourself, because my negotiations were one-sided against them.
Because you had the leverage?
I had the leverage. I was the golden boy. I was the ticket seller. Mayweather at the time was not selling out arenas.
So could you say you use bigger gloves than me? You can actually say that in a contract?
No, you got to wear. I'm not sure what Ryan was talking about, but yeah, you got to wear the same size gloves. You can. Let's see. What did we change with the Mayweather negotiations? It was basically it was basically an even negotiation, except for the purse. I believe I negotiated a 90-10 for myself.
he's guilty, he pays. If he's not, let him fight it. But this ain't the ring. Even Evander Holyfield chimed in. I told him once, stay humble. Didn't listen. You know who's gone quiet? The entire money team. No Instagram posts, no flashy responses, no watch me beat the case vibes. Insiders say Floyd's team is panicked. One even told a reporter he always had a plan, but this time, there's no fight to sell. The silence isn't just strategy, it's survival. Because this case, it could bring down the entire brand, and people are jumping ship. Here's the part nobody expected. Some fighters are low-key terrified, because if Floyd gets pressed to cut a deal, names might come up. Partnerships, payouts, off-the-books cash. Sources close to Mayweather say he was involved in investments with at least a dozen fighters, property, crypto, overseas gambling money. If prosecutors track it, they don't stop at Floyd. He flips, and half the sport sweats. One retired manager said, that's how wide this could go. Twitter's a war zone. Some fans are celebrating the fall. He flexed too hard, now he's broke for real. Others are defending him. The government always targets black millionaires. The comment sections are chaos. TikTok clips with millions of views. YouTubers doing breakdowns. podcasts rewriting
Cold bombs. Yeah, that too. Cold Tell Floyd to get on live. Tell him show where he at. You owe them people over in Dubai that money. Tell him get on live right now. And he owe people in Saudi Arabia money too. Broken out here scamming people.
Oh, you fancy,
Tell him get on live right now.
Keyword fancy, F-A-N-C-Y. Enter that on our free
his whole legacy. But one post stood out. A fan wrote, "Even Jordan lost in the playoffs. But if this sticks, Floyd's done for good. Here's what we know. The charges are serious. The investigation's deep. And Mayweather has never faced anything this real. He might get off. He might go down. But no matter what, his reputation just changed forever. The silence from his team. The sharp words from rivals. The nervous tone from friends. It all points to one thing. This isn't over. If you thought this was just about Floyd, think again. This story, it's peeling back layers of the whole boxing industry. And once the truth hits court, no one is safe. So don't just share this video. Watch what happens next, because when legends fall, they don't fall alone. And if Floyd Mayweather can go down like this, anybody can.
I'm not sure how many of you have seen, and was it Floyd Mayweather? He did this interview, and he was talking about how he got a loan. He got a loan from a bank, and his new real estate deal is going to make him $300 million a month. You see that?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Now, the fact that he pointed out was that everybody knows that he got his own capital, which is money, right? But he still leveraged other people's money. Absolutely. So now he's making $300 million a month. Right. Well, he's gonna, that's going to be his plan. So, just like I said, for back to your example, right? The Airbnb, you get a place. I mean, there's a couple ways to do Airbnbs. Yeah. You can do it to where you're what's it called, subleasing, something like that. Yeah, subleasing. Mm-hmm. You don't technically own it, but the landlord's okay with it, or you can actually buy it. But in a situation where you're buying it, it does cost money to fix it up, right? Right.